Hello, it's me, and it's time to once again return and finish what I started, returning back to the planetary megaminxes. Took a little break from them for a little while, but where I left off with is we just finished Mars, I believe, and we're actually moving on to new territory. Now notice this says Saturn, but this is actually not configured as a Saturn. The reason that I did it that way is I was ready to retire the previous megaminx. I oriented it to look like Mercury, then Venus, then Earth, then Mars, and it was getting a little bit worn. Plus, the Mars configuration was pretty much where I wanted to keep it at because it gave me all the advantages of the other planets. But I had to retire the old girl because, like I say, I'd used it enough. So I took a Saturn and I modified it to match Jupiter. So Jupiter, of course, as was previously talked about, largest planet in the solar system, housing the largest moon. It's like a solar system within itself. If it were just a little bit bigger, it would cause stellar ignition and become a sun. It actually was responsible in the early part of our solar system of causing what's called the early heavy bombardment of our planet with meteors. And a lot of our mass is based on all that bombardment. Because as Jupiter started off at the front part of the solar system, because it's a gas that kind of expanded outward, and because of its massive gravity dragged all these asteroids with it, which pummeled the Earth, increasing its size, possibly contributing to the formation of the moon, where a potential other Mars-sized planet crashed into it. But anyway, it's out there now. It acts as a big vacuum cleaner, taking away meteors that should find their way in and letting the gravity sort of clean everything out. We actually used Jupiter to slingshot various spacecraft out to the outer realms of the solar system. Anyway, the way Jupiter is organized is pretty much the opposite of Mercury, whereas instead of having two that are non-bandaged and everything else being bandaged, you have two sides that are bandaged, in this case the white side and the gray side, and everything else is non-bandaged. Everything else. Now, because of that, I have to deal with this very differently than I did the other puzzles. Before, I actually found it easier to deal with the bandaged sides because once I got the inner star, they were fixed, and I had to kind of work my way around the non-bandaged sides because there's a lot of moving around that happened. Well, I can't do that this time because everything is, or most of them are actually non-bandaged. So my strategy has to be different. Plus, I can no longer solve the outer shell with these, leaving the inner corners to be solved later, because doing the Mercury strategy of solving that or placing those during the 3 cycle meant that I'd have to have the qualification of having on top a non-bandaged side with the bandage in front, so we got that, but then you also need to have a bandage on one of the lower sides, which you can't have with this. So literally what I have to do is a totally different strategy of reducing this to a megaminx and then carefully solving it. I had to do almost exactly the same thing with the Jupiter cube, but with a twist. So this is going to be very similar to that. So let's scramble it and see how we can maybe navigate through it. It's actually a fairly simple puzzle, a nice one to get you in the mood for some of the later megaminxes, but a very different strategy than I've had to use. So here we go. Okay, so here we go. What I'm going to do to reduce this to a megaminx is I'm going to take my side that's bandaged. I can take either one, silver or white, and I'm just going to start creating normal sides. I'm going to just start putting the inner edges to the outer edges, then follow that with the inner corners to the outer corners. And I'm just going to start putting things in as I can. So here's a red and pink. I'm going to turn this to here to put the red in. Blue, dark blue. I'm going to find another dark blue inner edge to put that in there. Really, this is just a matter of placement, and it's really not that difficult to do this. This is a little more than just like solving a jigsaw puzzle. Same kind of thing, only instead of laying it down flat, you get to do it with a twisty puzzle. Light blue over here. So it doesn't require a lot of the strategies. It's kind of what I liked about the other versions, the other planetary versions, is it was a lot of strategy and a lot of thinking that went on into this. This is more just likened on to the first part of the previous ones where you have to put in the inner star. So turn this over here. You can see this is in, this is in, this is in, and I just follow suit. find an orange one, which is right over here. So just kind of put it in like so. Use an orange, put in a white one, and really it's just a matter of placement. So not too difficult, and I think you kind of get the picture. This here, so green to green. This only starts to get a little bit more complicated when you're down to the last few. Aside from that, again, no big surprises. I need another orange if I can. This comes here. Okay, so turn this around here. So these are all in. So now let's find another orange, which should be the last one, or getting to it anyway. This comes here, find a purple to put in over here. There's one here, but it's attached, so I can't use that. But we're still early, so we can use a lot of other ones. So there it is there. Find a pink one to put in here. Here's a pink one. And then finally a yellow one. Okay, make my turn. All right, so no problems there. We'll put a couple things in. There we go. These two are nice inverses. So purple to purple, red to, let's put another red in. Let's put another red. And another red should fit that pretty well. Right over here. Okay, the reason why I did that is so that I can move these in here. So with that said, I think that basically fills in all of the edges. So I didn't have to do anything too overly fancy with that. The next step, once I've done that, I now have to reduce these to the inner and the outer. The way that I want to do that is I'm going to put one star in here so that I can turn this and not affect these edges over here. So let's get all of our whites in. And we could put it in by way of the cross. Doesn't really matter at this point. And move this in over here. So again, we're basically solving a jigsaw puzzle. This comes in over here. I'll take a little trip around here. And finally, last but not least, this comes here. All right, so we got a nice little star here. The reason that I did that is now I'm free to turn this wherever I want to put these guys in, and I'm not going to mess this up. And I do it exactly the same way. So let's see what we've got. This green can go here. This blue can go here. And we just sort of intuitively put this in. You can really, you can just roll it in by any technique you want. So blue to blue, purple to purple, this blue to, do we have another blue? A blue inner, right there. So turn this, so these are in here, and now we're going to follow suit. Here's a red one. So red to red, pink to pink. Nope, what have I done? Okay. Where was that pink? Pink to, here it is. Pink. Had it there. Green to green. And here's a green over here. Orange to orange. All right, that's pretty good. Turn it. Not too shabby. dark green. Let's find a dark green here. Any one of these will do. Purple to purple, find a purple inner one. I got one over here. Red to red, find an inner red. Right here. The whole time being careful not to move it from the silver because that'll undo some of the work that I've already done. So turn, turn, turn. And then beige to beige, and here's a nice beige for us. Is that pretty good? It's pretty good. As long as I'm getting 3, we can make some pretty good progress. Okay. Okay, continuing with this side over here. See if there's another one that we can use. Another one that we can use. Am I tapped out? Could that be it? Well, there's this, but it doesn't seem to correlate with these. So we'll just put this up here just to store it. Oh, there's this over here. Alright, so I just put that up there. This will come over to here. Now here we have a little bit of a dilemma because this actually should probably find a home over here, but it's kind of part of this. So at the very least, I'm going to separate this from, I'm going to uncouple these guys from each other. So I'm going to solve this so that I can maybe put this one in. But in the meantime, I'll just put this with another orange so that I haven't offset anything. So again, the technique that I'm using here is very similar to what I was using for the White Eden model. If I want to move anything in this plane up to here, I'm just going to move the proper moves that it takes to put this here. 1, 2, turn, 1, 2, turn back. So this comes here. We'll find another orange one. Well, here's this over here. Maybe I can, but again, that's probably going to find a home over here. There's probably an errant white one that exists somewhere. Well, here's what I'll do. I'll just go like, here's my errant white one. Maybe that's what I was looking to do. Alright, so this will go here, which will be fine. This will go here, this will go here, this will go here, and that'll free this one up. So turn, that's exactly what I wanted to have happen. So I've got 2 complementary ones over here. So I'm going to try to put this one right next to it. Again, this is in this plane, so to knock it out, I'm just going to move it from this side here. Turn, 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 turn. So that's over here. If at any point I'm going too fast, because a lot of times these are techniques that I've already discussed before, so I want to move it within this plane over here, so I'm just going to keep doing that same move. If this is L, then we have L, UI, LI, U. I'm just going to keep doing that until this finds its way up here. And there it is there. So let's see if we can take this around the world. This will go here, find another blue. I have one over here. So the complementary on the right side is going to be RI, UR, UI. Just keep doing that until it finds its way in. So that's here. Another blue, light blue, right over here. So that's in. And last but not least, another blue light blue should be very complementary to this one. Well, it's over here, but let's see if there's another one right over here. So now I've got it set up here, make my turn, make my turn the right way. So all these should be in. So now at this point, we should have reduced this to pretty much just a Megaminx with a little bit of a craziness over here and here. So really the next part is just a matter of solving it like a Megaminx, but we have to be very careful to not do these turns, which means a slight variation in some of the algorithms.